No one saw this coming. Angel Reese, the queen of confidence, the face of New Age women's basketball, the one who stood tall in every arena, is now at the center of an emotional storm that fans can't stop talking about. Because just as the WNBA free agency frenzy kicked off, something happened that blindsided not just Angel, but the entire basketball world. Top-tier free agents' names fans had predicted would team up with Reese for a powerhouse run shocked everyone. By heading to Indiana, not for the lifestyle, not for the fame, but to play alongside one name, Caitlin Clark. And when the announcements hit, the cameras caught what no one expected to see: Angel Reese. Normally, the picture of fierce energy and unshakable confidence, visibly shaken. Sources say she broke down in a private moment just minutes after the final move was confirmed. And now, fans are torn. Was this just a competitive blow, or the start of a deeper divide between two rising icons? Social media exploded. Hashtags like #TeamAngel and #ClarkEffect started trending. Analysts say this shift could redefine loyalty in the league. And insiders claim Angel feels betrayed, not just by players she trusted, but by the narrative forming around her. Was this personal, or just business? And more importantly, can Angel bounce back? Buckle up, because what's unfolding isn't just about stats or game scores. It's about trust, power, and what happens when the spotlight suddenly shifts. The news hit like a gut punch when the announcement dropped that 3 of the most anticipated free agents in the WNBA had all chosen Indiana Fever, and more specifically, chosen to play with Caitlin Clark. The internet froze. And somewhere in a quiet corner of her team facility, Angel Reese reportedly sat in stunned silence, staring at her phone. She had expected one of them to come, maybe 2 if things aligned. But all 3? It felt like abandonment. For months, Angel had been riding a wave of energy. Her debut season with Chicago Sky had been loud, proud, and unapologetic. Her fan base was growing fast. Her social media following was on fire. And every post-game interview turned into a viral clip. She wasn't just a player, she was becoming a cultural icon. The kind who didn't ask for respect. She demanded it, but then the narrative started to shift as Caitlin Clark continued to dominate headlines, breaking records, setting viewership highs, and selling out arenas. More and more eyes started turning toward Indiana. And quietly, behind the scenes, top players began requesting trades and meetings. Not with Angel, not with Chicago, but with the Fever. Because apparently, everyone wanted in on Clark's rising empire. And Angel, she was left watching it unfold like a stranger to her own sport. "I thought we were building something real," Angel allegedly said during a private moment to a close friend, according to a source. "I thought this was my era." Her emotions weren't coming from jealousy, at least not completely. Insiders say it was more about feeling overlooked, underestimated, like she had poured her heart into a vision no one else wanted to see. She had been loud, confident, proud. And now, suddenly, all that energy was being interpreted as noise, while Clark's quiet dominance was being praised as leadership. The comparisons were unavoidable. Every sports commentator had an opinion. And fans, they were split. One side hailed Angel as the face of fearless authenticity. The other claimed Clark was the future of the league, clean, sharp, and media perfect. Then came the photos. One by one. The new Fever teammates posted images of them linking up at training, smiling wide beside Clark. Captions like "New Era" and "Unstoppable Season" loading flooded timelines. Angel didn't post anything. Not a story, not a tweet, not even a like. That silence was loud. Sources close to her say Angel broke down in tears that night. Not in front of teammates, not on camera, but alone, behind closed doors. A private moment of heartbreak in an industry that rarely makes space for vulnerability. She didn't expect everyone to leave, said one team insider. But she really didn't expect them to go there. Not like this. Not together. What? Made it worse was the fact that one of those free agents was someone Angel had reportedly been in regular contact with, even working on a sneaker collab behind the scenes. Now, that same player had turned around and signed with the Fever without warning. That one cut deep, the source added. It wasn't just basketball. It felt personal. As fans dissected every movement, social media lit up with debates. Some said this was karma, a reminder to stay humble. Others argued Angel was being sidelined by a machine designed to elevate a certain kind of player. The comments were brutal. Some said Angel brought this on herself. Others wrote, they scared of her shine, but Angel's silence. That said, more than any tweet ever could, she didn't need to clap back. Not yet. Because behind the scenes, a different kind of storm was brewing. Rumors started surfacing that Angel had been promised certain deals, partnerships, media pushes, team-building plans that were now being quietly redirected to the Clark-led Fever Squad. One marketing rep even leaked a message allegedly showing a brand shifting their focus from Reese's authenticity to Clark's clean legacy. The line sent Twitter into chaos. So, y'all want to silence Black excellence now? One fan tweeted, Angel speaks her truth and gets punished. Got it? Angel still said nothing, but those around her started speaking. Chicago's Engel Quotes as assistant coach posted a cryptic message on Instagram that read, "Every empire rises. Just remember how." Another teammate dropped a TikTok showing old footage of her and Angel laughing during preseason with the caption, "Some bonds never break. Others never existed." It was messy, emotional, and impossible to ignore. Then came the podcast. A former WNBA vet, someone who had played in both old and new league eras, shared a story that stopped fans in their tracks. She claimed to have been part of a dinner meeting months ago where multiple agents discussed strategically aligning with Clark for the good of the league. When asked if Angel's name came up, she paused. They didn't see her as marketable long-term. She said, they saw her as a spark, not a foundation. That line broke the internet. Was this just a calculated business move? Or was there something more? The story didn't stop there. Angel's single quotes as camp reportedly reached out to several teams to explore new synergy opportunities, not necessarily a trade, but perhaps brand activations or crossover events. 3 teams didn't respond. One team allegedly said, "We're focused on building around Clark this year." And with that, the pattern became painfully clear. Angel wasn't just losing players. She was losing the momentum she had worked so hard to build. But if fans thought she was about to fold, they were wrong, because just as quietly as she had gone dark, Angel was preparing a response that no one was ready for. Angel didn't cry. For long after the initial shock, the betrayal, and the silence that followed, something inside her switched. Sources say that within 48 hours of the last free agent signing with Indiana, Angel was back in the gym, not with cameras, not with a content team. It's just her, a ball, and a playlist filled with revenge energy. She locked in, said one close friend, like scary, locked in. But this wasn't just about basketball anymore. It wasn't about stat sheets or team rosters. This was personal. Angel felt like she'd been pushed out of a story she helped create. And she wasn't about to let that slide quietly. Behind the scenes, her management team was already working double time. They began pulling receipts, texts, meeting notes, even audio clips from pitch calls, all showing that some of the brands and players, we are so loads brands, like players, now huddled around Clark, had once courted Angel with big promises. One clip allegedly features a brand, XX, saying, "If Reese leads this new class, we've got culture in the bag." Now, that same brand was announcing Clark as their new face. Fans were livid. The betrayal didn't feel strategic, it felt calculated. Angel's supporters flooded the comments of every brand post with hashtag #StandWithAngel and hashtag #ReeseEffect. Some even started digging into old footage, finding clips of Angel being sidelined during press conferences, while Clark was given full spotlight. They never wanted to share the stage. One fan commented on Twitter, "They just needed Angel to warm it up." But Angel, she stayed silent, still controlled. Until she didn't. A leaked clip surfaced on Reddit late one night. It wasn't meant to be public, a short, blurry video from what looked like a closed-door team session. In the clip, Angel could be heard saying, "I gave this league a moment. They gave her a movement. I see it now." That one quote exploded across every social platform. Suddenly, the narrative flipped. People began asking real questions. Had Angel been set up to fail? Was this about more than talent? Maybe image, identity, or even politics? Influencers posted think pieces, tweeted solidarity, and slowly Angel's silence became her power. She didn't need to speak, but the world was speaking for her, but the pressure was building. Because while Angel was digging deep and working in silence, Indiana Fever was shining in the spotlight. Clark was everywhere, commercials, morning talk shows, red carpets, and with each new headline, Angel's name faded further from the media cycle. Until she made sure at DN's single quotes T, Angel dropped a teaser. A simple, moody black and white video of her walking through an empty arena. No music, just the sound of her sneakers echoing on the floor. The screen faded to black and 4 words appeared. "Watch what happens next." No logo, no brand tag. Just vibes. It was enough to send the internet into a frenzy. What was she planning? A docu-series, a to-law, a comeback campaign? Even her teammates didn't know, but one of them commented under the post with a fire emoji and the word "finally." Within hours, every major sports blog had reposted it. Hashtags like #ReeseComeback and #AngelWatch trended. Some fans speculated she was planning to transfer teams. Others said she was about to expose the WNBA's internal politics. A few even joked that she was starting her own league. And then came the unfollowed. Angel unfollowed one of the free agents who had joined Clark in Indiana. That might not sound like a big deal, but for fans who've been following these storylines, like a soap opera, it was the moment that confirmed everything. Something had broken, and just like that, more whispers started to leak. A teammate close. To Angel allegedly shared in a private group chat that Angel was done trying to be liked. She had seen the game, seen the manipulation. And now she was focused on building something bigger, something they couldn't steal. But drama wasn't done following her. During a post-game interview, one of the few she agreed to, a reporter, casually asked, "Do you feel left behind now that so many are choosing to play with Clark?" The room fell silent. Everyone braced. Angel just smiled. "You ever seen someone leave a party early," she said, "just to realize the real fun started after they left?" The crowd broke into nervous laughter. But fans watching from home knew exactly what she meant. She wasn't left behind. She was clearing the room. But while Angel was regaining her power, new layers to the story started to surface. A former assistant coach from her college days did a podcast interview where he said that Angel had always been too real for the system. "They like their stars polished and passive," he said. "Angel makes them nervous because she doesn't play quiet. Well, she plays proud." That quote lit a fire under her fan base. People began reposting old clips of Angel standing her ground, talking back when it mattered, showing up loud and proud. Suddenly, her past wasn't being used against her. It was being celebrated. But even in this resurgence, the wounds were fresh. Because just as Angel was reclaiming her story, Clark's camp began making subtle moves. A promo video dropped showing Clark and her new teammates laughing, holding hands, bonding like best friends at summer camp. The vibe was clear. This was unity. This was chemistry. And it didn't include Angel. Fans noticed. Some even pointed out that two of those teammates had publicly praised Angel just weeks earlier. Now they were all smiles under a new Queen's rule. One tweet said it best: "The league didn't divide them, loyalty did." Angel saw it. She didn't react. But her next post said enough to have a photo of her alone, in full game mode, sweat dripping. Hands on knees, eyes locked on the camera, no caption, just energy. She was ready. But ready for what? Fans didn't know yet. But part 3 would answer that, because what Angel was about to do would change everything. Angel wasn't just ready to respond. She was about to rewrite the narrative entirely. The night after she posted that raw, no caption photo, a cryptic countdown appeared on her Instagram story. No context. Just a ticking clock set to end in exactly 72 hours. No one knew what was coming, but everyone knew it wouldn't be small. Blogs speculated everything from a major endorsement reveal to a docuseries called The Reese Effect. Fans lost sleep. Even sports analysts paused regular coverage to ask, what is Angel planning? Meanwhile, whispers from inside her camp started to paint a bigger picture. Turns out, Angel had been quietly documenting her journey since the draft. A private camera crew, no mainstream media, no corporate filters, just her truth. The wins, the losses, the tears, the betrayal, everything. And now, it was time to share it. But she wasn't just dropping footage. She was dropping a full-on movement. The countdown ended with a trailer. Started in silence, black screen, and then a single sentence. You saw the highlights. Now hear the truth. The screen burst into flashes, Angel crying in the locker room, Angel training alone, Angel watching coverage of Clark on TV. Her expression unreadable. Then clips of missed calls, ignored texts. And meetings with brand reps where her name was noticeably left off the board. The last frame showed Angel standing alone on a basketball court at night, lit only by a single spotlight. She looked into the camera and whispered, "I'm not their story, I'm mine." Fans went wild. Reese Effect exploded across every platform. Celebrities reposted it, athletes called it powerful. Even rival players started commenting respect. And finally, but not everyone was clapping. Within hours of the drop, a statement was released by a major sports marketing agency. It didn't name Angel, but it clearly shaded her. The post read, "True stars don't need to defend their shine. Their game speaks." Attached was a photo of Caitlin Clark smiling at a shoot. The message was clear. They weren't happy. And, "Angel," she responded without saying a word. She reposted the agency's post. With a single clown emoji, the internet broke. This wasn't just competition anymore. It was war. And just when things couldn't get messier, they did. An anonymous leak hit a major gossip blog. It was a voice note, scratchy, low quality, clearly recorded in secret. But the voices were clear. Two brand executives laughing about how Clark is easier to work with and Reese brings too much noise. One even said, "Let her talk. She's making Clark look better just by being mad." The backlash was instant. Within minutes, Angel's fans flooded the brand's socials. Protests, boycotts, angry duets on TikTok, calling out the industry's double standards. And Angel, she posted a photo of herself sitting courtside at her next game, full glam, head held high. Caption, "Talk louder." The game that night was different. Angel showed up like it was Game 7 of the finals. Locked in, laser focus, playing with a kind of rage that was beautiful to watch. She dropped a double-double. Crowd went wild. But the real moment came in the post-game interview. A reporter asked, "Does this new energy have anything to do with recent headlines?" Angel paused, then said, "I realized something. They built a table and gave everyone a seat. But I was the table. Now I'm building a new one." The clip went instantly viral. Commentators called it the quote of the year. A WNBA legend tweeted, "She's not mad, she's awake. Big difference." And the ripple effect. Huge, huge. Two brands that had previously shifted focus to Clark quietly reached out to Angel's team. Suddenly, people wanted back in. They saw the loyalty of her fan base, the power of her voice, the message behind her movement, and Angel. She wasn't quick to say yes. No more partnerships, one source close to her said. From now on, she's building empires. But with every comeback comes a new twist. Rumors started swirling that another high-profile player was considering leaving. Indiana Fever reportedly unhappy with how all the energy goes to Clark. The name wasn't confirmed, but fans had theories. Tweets started popping up. Some said it was jealousy. Others said it was truth. Regardless, it pointed to something deeper. Maybe the locker room wasn't as perfect as it looked. Meanwhile, Clark's camp stayed quiet. No response to the trailer. No comment on the leaked voice note. It's just more highlight reels, more applause, more shine, until one subtle shift during a podcast appearance. Clark was asked directly, "How do you feel about the way things are playing out with Angel Reese?" Her smile faded for just a second. "I think we're all just trying to find our place in this league," she said carefully, some louder than others. "But at the end of the day, I respect her. She's a competitor." That small moment of tension. Fans clung to it. Did she mean respect or tolerate? Because the next day, Angel posted a story with a clip from that interview. Zoomed in on Clark's face, with the caption, Drama fully reignited. But this time, the public wasn't divided the way it had been. More voices came out in support of Angel. More women in sports shared their stories. More journalists started asking the uncomfortable questions about bias, favoritism, and media narrative. Angel had flipped the script. She wasn't just part of the story, she was the story. And just when it seemed like she had taken control of everything, a bombshell dropped that no one saw coming. The assistant coach from Angel's college team, the same one who had supported her earlier, posted a cryptic thread on Twitter. It hinted that there was more to this story. That Angel's betrayal didn't just come from the outside. And then he posted a single line. Ask about the call. The one she never got. Within minutes, speculation exploded. And just like that, everything we thought we knew shattered. The story that began with a few skipped calls and overlooked headlines has exploded into a full-blown power shift. Rewriting how we see Angel Reese, not just as a player, but as a force. What started as tears on the bench has become a movement that's rattling brands, shaking locker rooms, and forcing even the biggest names in sports to pick a side. Angel, single quotes, as not just reacting anymore. She's leading. It's building something. Bigger than stats, bigger than rivalries. For every door that was closed in her face, she's turning it into a stage. But with all the noise, all the narratives, all the whispered power plays behind the scenes, one question still remains. Who made that call that never came? Who held back when she needed them the most? And now, as fans, we're left wondering, was Angel Reese ever really supported the way she deserved? Or was she always just a threat in someone else's spotlight? The next chapter is coming fast. More leaks, more answers. And maybe, finally, some redemption. But until then, we need to hear from you. Do you think Angel was set up to fall? Was this just a media ploy gone too far? Or did she really get left behind when it mattered most? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We're reading every single one. And if this saga had you shook, hit that like button, subscribe for more wild twists, and don't forget to turn on those notifications. Because if you think the drama's done, but you haven't seen anything yet, this is more than basketball. This is personal.